Today, these players walk in the shadows of legend. And there is the breakthrough goal.
That's what the fans came to see. That's for the history books.
Del Piero! Big games produce big moments.
Have you seen a more freakish goal in A-League history?
Well, the A-League delivers again.
No one is stopping that.
What an unbelievable strike! And the Mariners have done it! Remarkable!
A record crowd made Amy Park a sight to behold as two local rivals prepared for battle to determine who would be crowned champions of the 20th Isuzu UTE A-League season. Melbourne Victory were looking to complete an incredible finals run to secure a record-equalling 5th championship. Meanwhile, it was a 5th grand final in the last 6 years for their neighbours Melbourne City, but the internationally connected club had only managed to lift the prize trophy on one occasion. It promised to be a special night for Australian football. Calling all the action was Andy Harper and Simon Hill.
So let's have a look at the team news. Melbourne City make just one change from that second leg draw against Western United that secured their grand final passage. Matt Leckie is preferred to Alessandro Lapane in midfield. It's his first start since early March. Supriyan Jego, Naboot and Nieuwenhuizen all remain sidelined with injury. But Lawrence Wong does return on the bench after suffering a fractured wrist during an NPL match 2 weeks ago. Nathaniel Atkinson and Marco Tilio, the only two survivors from City's last and only championship win in 2021. One change for Victory as well. Casey Voss returns after missing the second leg in Auckland with injury. Josh Rawlins reverts to right back. Jordi Valadon and Zinedine Mashash to their more usual starting positions. The odd man out is Nishat Balupale, whose ankle injury rules him out, along with Brendan Hamill. Mitch Langerak is perhaps a surprise inclusion on the bench. Bruno Forderoli gets the chance to win a first championship at the age of 37. He's preferred once again to Nikos Virgos in attack. So this Melbourne derby, the biggest one of them all. One with the championship trophy at stake. And this one, Andy Harper, like most of the others, probably too close to call.
Yeah, good evening, Simon, and to everyone. I think you're right. Two teams come in with full of self-belief and with a lot of local pride on the line. We've seen some ding-dong battles between these two teams over the seasons.
Captain Arzani, former Melbourne City player, of course, getting the boos from those in light blue. Arzani's jinked his way to the byline, and City again have to scramble it away through Jonathan Cohen. Electric start by the navy blue. A bit of foul by Atkinson, but play allowed to continue. Here goes Zinedine Mashash. Off the head of Ferrer, who looks a little dazed. Ball hit him in the head pretty hard, to be fair. Victory come again. And Casey Voss has run the ball behind for a goal kick, and Melbourne City will be relieved.
Yeah. Some respite for Melbourne City. Arzani's had two great incursions. The first, I think, he released a bit early once he got into the penalty area. This, I think the timing of his release was excellent.
Here's Marco Tilio, who shapes as being one of Melbourne City's match winners potentially, but he's given the ball away to Santos, and Mashash races away. Here's a chance maybe for Forderoli, held up though by Tilio, trapped all the way back to try and atone for his error. Valadon then unleashed from long range, but City by then had the numbers defensively. Tilio, Leckie, Truin, Pereira, who seems none the worse for that ball to the face a few minutes ago. Truin's out ball is a good one. Aziz Bajic went beyond Tilio, who was well marked. Here's Andreas Kuhn, City's first chance off the crossbar, and the follow-up is rifled into the goal by Jonathan Cohen. And after all that early pressure from Melbourne Victory, it is City who strike first in the grand final, thanks to their Israeli international.
made an impact in the finals. He's had his injury troubles as well. It's a beautifully crafted goal. It's a superb ball over the top from Trewin. And as is Bayage, who's been dangerous at the attacking end of the field for Melbourne City in this final series, sets it up. And the Harvey Norman replay shows that when push came to shove, Melbourne City needed 2 bites of the cherry. The cutback from Kewen was excellent, but then the rebound falls. Nothing can be done from victory at that point. And Kewen just drives the ball. Classy from Kewen. And Kewen slices the ball in to give Melbourne City the lead.
Free kick for Melbourne victory. Zani's free kick. Santos looking to go beyond Bates. He's managed to get around him. Mishesh. That's a really, really good block. Matt Leckie at the near post just threw himself in the path of that effort.
Yeah, Leckie v Mishesh. It's already brewing as a massive subplot here. Santos does brilliantly, and Matt Leckie right on assignment.
This is a well-worn tactic from Melbourne City from these sort of set-piece situations. A whole cluster of players who now make their move, and it's awkward for Jack Duncan, who got a good solid fist behind the ball. Still there for Bayage, and arriving at the back post was Matt Leckie. It was a really good header, and Jack Duncan did well to hold on. Beach's distribution not the best. Here's Arzani, chance here for victory to get square. It's Mishesh! Oh, it's a really good save. Really, really good stop by Patrick Beach to atone for that little mistake.
Well, just watch this really carefully. Does Patrick Beach actually try and touch this around the post and mishandles it, I think? Because if it goes where he intends it, he has tried to palm that away, and I think that's going into the feet of a victory player. Look at this from Jack Duncan. It's so difficult to do.
Zani's free kick delivery, and it's off the head of Miranda, and behind for a goal kick.
Well, it's another side of goal. Miranda rising highest, but with his back to goal couldn't control the header once he'd spun.
Here's Casey Boss. Took a while to get the ball under his spell. Another foul, this time by Kewen.
And look, you identified it, Simon. Melbourne City's ability to recover in time is awesome, but they're being aided and abetted in these last 2 opportunities down the left-hand side for victory, and a lack of technique.
Arzani's free kick, helped on by Mishesh, out by Atkinson. Here's Santos, and yet again, City get a body in the way. This time it's Jonathan Kewen, and there are 1 or 2 shouts for handball against the Israeli international. Let's have another look at it. Now, all the different positions we've seen Matt Leckie play, I'm not sure the old water carrier would have been high on my list to see him in tonight. Here's the first yellow card, Jonathan Kewen. Here's the name in the notebook. Of course, you might remember the starting right back in the first game of the World Cup in 2022. Here's Aziz Bayage. Near post was Max Caputo, who did get the final touch. Goal kick.
Aziz Bayage. And he's so dangerous down the left-hand side. Victory defended this one much better, because Caputo's a menace. He's really growing in stature.
Turned over rather casually and carelessly by Valadon. Likewise by City. Here's Boss. Mishesh. Mishesh to have a go. Patrick Beach right behind him.
They've still forced enough chances, sights at goal, to believe that they can break City down, get themselves back square. But in some senses, easier said than done.
Santos has yanked Aziz Bayage to the floor. It's going to be a free kick for Melbourne City. will it settle? It's Andreas Kuhn. He just ran out of room, the Austrian. Here's Mashash. Does well to find that space. A great use of the body from Fornaroli. Little touch from Arzani. And the infringement by Ferreira. And Roderick Miranda is across as victory captain to have a conversation with Adam Kersey and inquire as to why there is not another yellow card being shown. Does he have a case, Andy?
No, I think it's a free kick, but Ferreira on the way past, just a little tap on the head of Daniel Arzani.
This may well be the last attack of the first half. Arzani too flat, but sprays up and back towards the penalty area of Bajic. Here's Miranda. It's going to be a victory throw, but there will be no time for it to be taken. That is half-time in the 20th grand final. And at the break, it's Jonathan Cohen's goal, which came after 10 minutes after Max Caputo had hit the crossbar from Aziz Bajic's cross. That is the difference between the two sides. Matt Lackey's forced a good save out of Jack Duncan. At the other end, Zinedine Mashash likewise out of Patrick Beach. Mashash has had a couple of efforts charged down by City defenders. Plenty of opportunities for victory, but as yet, no way through. But this grand final, still very much in the balance. At the moment, though, slightly favouring Melbourne City. At the break, in the 48th Melbourne derby, it is Melbourne City 1, Melbourne victory 0. Jonathan Cohen, the goal scorer and the only player cautioned. So City, 45 minutes from glory. It's theirs to lose. Melbourne victory, 45 minutes. Andy Harper to avoid losing 3 major finals in a row.
They've got a big job in front of them. Melbourne victory, they've played well enough in that first half to believe that they can turn this around. But they're just in such ominous shape, Melbourne City. They've had to defend their goal frequently, but they've done it really resolutely.
Both teams now attacking the ends of the ground where most of their supporters are located. Let's see if that gives one or perhaps both of them a lift. Here's Jonathan Cohen. He's got a lovely left foot, and that's a really lovely save too by Jack Duncan to deny him, because that was angling in.
Decent early sider. He scored that beautiful goal there or thereabouts against Western United a couple of weeks ago. And desperate Jack Duncan. It's a really good save.
And Santos. Ferreira too strong for Arzani. Lucky is down. That may well need some attention. Accidental, but goodness me. It could really affect the breathing for obvious reasons.
I don't know if there's anyone tougher in the comp. He's an incredible athlete. Look at him go.
Cohen, Atkinson, can he find the right delivery? But Caputo beaten to it at the near post by Jackson.
But they came and went. It's just the last signs that City were really starting to turn the screws on them.
Cohen's corner. Duncan thought about coming, and it was very close to being an own goal off the head of Ryan Teague at the back post.
Well, Ferreira scored the opening goal against Western United on that back post. Teague being enough of a nuisance.
Mashash. Ferreira with a foul, and there's going to be a card as well for the Argentine. And he'd do well not to kick the ball away anymore, otherwise the hue of that card may well change. Should that be navy blue? Arzani sends up the signal. Ball loops up in the air, and it's nodded towards goal. In the end, rather tamely by Badalato. Beige. Back ball, and Max Caputo's roll clear of Jackson, and shoots wide. And he had Jonathan Cohen and Steven Ugarkovic as free as you like alongside. But he went for glory himself. How big a miss might that prove to be?
It's a massive moment. You just have to feel that he didn't fully realise how much time he had. Maybe a little disoriented as he got rid of Lockie Jackson, and then the striker's instinct, I'm just going to swing for goal. But look at Ugarkovic. Gun players, Arzani doesn't often run out 90 minutes.
Here's Tillier gliding away from Rawlins. That's definitely going to be a yellow card.
Mashash, often substituted late. Rawlins bringing down Tillier. Bruno Fornaroli in the autumn of his career. How much run left there?
Cohen's delivery, and Ferreira heads over. And that goal that arrived as long ago as the 10th minute from City's number 10 remains the difference. Serra trying to clear his lines, only finds Beige. Tilio races onto the loose ball. City have plenty forward in the box. Two at the back post. Oh, that should have finished it. Jonathan Cohen with the goal gaping. And he's put it well wide. Now that's two big chances City have now missed to seal this contest.
I mean, the only thing maybe that Mehmeti caught his eye with Mehmeti's first move to head it, then he realised there's a better player behind me position, and he knows it. Oh, Vidi's even heading the ball. By 3, 4 or 5 Melbourne City players. It's been quite stunning, their output in this game.
Matty on the turn, and straight at Duncan. Miranda. Here's Arzani. Can he create a bit of magic here for victory? Looking back post. Oh, the suggestion of a handball there. Pretty strong ones from the victory supporters. We'll come back to that. Meantime, it's jammed hopefully towards goal by Badalato, but was there an arm in play there inside the penalty box? A Melbourne City arm.
Well, the ref's already waved it away. Ferreira plays it, but clearly hits his arm.
I mean, he doesn't know anything about it.
I've no idea where it is. He's losing his balance.
Well, the arms are away from the body. It's that old conversation again, Hart.
Yeah.
Serra's ball into the box, fended away by Truitt. Here's Daniel Arzani looking for the angle, and it's off the head of Ferreira. Up but not yet away off Atkinson. Brought down by Arzani. And shuffle back towards Boss. Mashash. There's just no room for victory to operate in. Drawing the contact from Ugarkovic. Maybe the first signs of tiredness. See if he gets this one right. Looks decent. Burgos went for it. And Lecky with the clearing header. And here's Ugarkovic through the legs of Valadon. And that's a foul and a card against Ryan Teague. Rawlins. Angle wide by Teague. City always seem to have that extra player providing cover. Goodness me. They're almost literally wrestling to gain 1 metre of ground.
Yeah, it's just been incredible. It's like the Battle of the Somme. Thankfully, literal devastation, but they're just fighting so hard. I've got to say, Simon, I don't know about you, but 7 minutes seems skinny for me. That was a really long stoppage for Matthew Leckie.
Yeah, I thought it might be closer to 10, to be honest. In front of their noisiest fans. Teague's delivery. Back post. That was a clear side of goal for Josh Rawlins. But he couldn't hit the target.
It's as close as they've come. Set pieces and corners is when they've been able to put City under most pressure in this second half. Wins the air space but can't control the header.
Rawlins. Again, look at the energy from City, although Mehmeti is fresh off the bench. Bajic isn't. Afters with Insera, which Adam Kersey saw and acknowledged. A tale of utter frustration for those in navy blue. Sit for Mehmeti, who then clips the ankles of Josh Rawlins.
With every stoppage helps Melbourne City, of course.
Another victory, not even of a mind to delay taking the free kick so their own man can get up. There was his Bajic. It's been that sort of night for Arthur Dillis' team. Here's Piscopo. Can he find something? Cross steered away by Ferreira at the near post. Badalato to try and set things up again, and then dragging back Cohen.
Just not good enough, really. On balance across the night in those tight exchanges.
Big puff out of the cheeks from Aurelio Vidmar. He knows his team are very close now.
Oh, look, they get the half break and then the ball from Piscopo's under hit. Badalato tries to turn out of trouble. Touch is not good enough, and then when it's 1v1, City win it.
City fans preparing to celebrate. Might just be time for victory to get the ball up the other end, but no, the whistle goes, and Melbourne City, so often the bridesmaids, are not tonight as they shake off their nearly man tag and win their first derby in 787 days, and with it, the championship trophy. What an achievement in what was an injury-riddled campaign that at times threatened to derail their season. Aurelio Vidmar wins a first championship as victory a vanquish yet again in a major final. Melbourne is City blue tonight, thanks to Jonathan Cohen's 10th minute winner. Melbourne City, champions of Australia for a second time.
Congratulations to Melbourne City, going down in history as champions of the 2024-25 season. Join us in October for season 21 of the Isuzu UTE League.